This is the Brandenburg, a Tier 7 premium battleship. It's a German battleship that is the final reward for the Pride of Prussia campaign. It's been compared to the Bismarck, the Tirpitz, and even the Odin. It has 12-inch main guns compared to the 15-inch guns of the Bismarck. You do have to wonder how effective the main guns on the Brandenburg will be, but it does have outstanding secondary batteries, and there will be a lot of focus on that, I think. So with that, let's get into the setup of the ship and the commander, who is Franz von Hipper. His base trait is elbow room. It increases the secondary battery range and improves its shell grouping. As for inspirations, I went with Andrew Cunningham. Concentrated devastation increases the shell grouping of your battleship's main guns, and I'm looking for accuracy here, not really enhancing the secondary batteries with this build. And because it is a German battleship which is prone to catching fire, Reinhard Scheer is my second inspiration. Fire alarm decreases the chance to catch fire and reduce the reload time of the damage control party. The first skill is Flammable Cannoneer. Increases the main battery range and shell grouping for your battleship, but it does increase the chance of catching fire for any ship type. The second skill is Gyrating Drill Bits. Increases the main battery traverse speed and armor-piercing shell damage of your battleship, but it is at the cost of decreased maximum speed. The third skill is Marksmanship. Increases the main battery shell grouping for any ship type, but it does reduce the rudder shift speed. For the fourth skill, we're using Properly Meticulous. Reduces the secondary battery shell reload time and increase the enhanced secondary targeting duration, and this is to help out those secondaries just a little bit more. The legendary skill is Will to Rebuild. Increases the HP regeneration rate when the repair party is active, and the range to the allied ship to activate this special effect is 2.75 kilometers. I have him ranked up to legendary rank 3. When I rank him up, or if I rank him up to legendary rank 4, the radius will increase up to 3.5 kilometers. So let's take a look at the upgrades for the Brandenburg. And the first upgrade I've selected is Aiming Systems Mod 1. Dispersion of the main battery is improved by 7%. Torpedo launcher traverse speed is improved by 20%. Secondary battery firing range and its dispersion is improved by 5% respectively. And you can see that I also have secondary battery mod 2 is in stock. I've been doing some testing with that, but for now, with the highlight you're going to see, I had Aiming Systems mod 1 activated, so that's what we're going to go with. Second upgrade is Steering Gears mod 2. Rudder shift time is improved by 20%. Third upgrade is Target Acquisition System Mod 1. Spotting range is improved by 20%. Torpedo detectability range is improved by 20%. And the RGA of ships, the guaranteed acquisition, is improved by 50%. And the last upgrade is Secondary Battery Mod 3. Secondary battery reload time is improved by 20%. All right, let's take a look at the loadout. You have your normal high explosive shells, armor piercing shells, and torpedoes, which we will get into in a second. As for consumables, I have the damage control party consumable. There's an unlimited number of these consumables. The duration is 15 seconds and they reload every 78.1 seconds. The next consumable is the repair party consumable. Partially restores the ship's HP by repairing any light damage at the rate of 516 hit points per second. Duration is 16.8 seconds with a reload time of 80 seconds, and you have 3 of those consumables. The last consumable is Enhanced Secondary Targeting. I've selected this over the spotter or the catapult fighter. The shell grouping of the secondary battery is improved by 100%. Dispersion of the secondary battery is improved by 50%. The duration is 30 seconds with a reload time of 160 seconds, and you have 3 of these consumables. As for boosters, you don't see any set up here, but during a battle I might be flying some of these boosters. The ship comes with a Type 9 Premium Permanent Camouflage. Sea detectability range and incoming fighter dispersion is improved by 4.5% respectively. As for the stats, survivability hit points is 59,700. Armor is 19 to 360 millimeter. Torpedo damage reduction is 23%. Artillery, main battery, 305 millimeter. Those are 12-inch guns. You have 12 of them. Firing range is 18.8 kilometers, and it will be increased with the Epic Battle Booster. Reload time is 26.5 seconds. Turn time is 24 seconds. HE shell damage is 3,600 with a 27% chance of setting fire, so you probably won't see as much fire starting as you might want. AP shell damage is 10,340, so you will get citadel hits with the Brandenburg, surprisingly. And now the secondary armament is kind of a little bit of a big deal here. You have 32 guns in total. The range is 9.1 kilometers. The 105 millimeter guns reload every 2.7 seconds with a 1,200 maximum damage, 5% chance of setting fire. The 150 millimeter guns reload every 6 seconds with a shell damage of 1,700 and an 8% chance of setting fire. So you might get a little bit more fire starting out of the secondary guns here. Torpedoes, you have 2 launchers of 4 torpedoes each. Reload time is 90 seconds. Maximum damage is 13,700. Range is 6 kilometers, which is not great. Torpedo speed is 64 knots. AA defenses, it is rated at 84. It looks like you have quite a few guns there, so you might get some pretty good AA action out of the Brandenburg. As for maneuverability, maximum speed is 29.3 knots. Turning circle radius is 820 meters. Rudder shift time is 13.4 seconds. Concealment is 14.7 kilometers by sea. Detectability range by air is 12.3 kilometers, and if you're in the smoke somehow, it will only be 12 kilometers. Let's check out the armor, and you can see a lot of orange and yellow armor. The superstructure is the thinnest armor, not surprisingly, so let's remove the armor and take a look at the citadel. And this actually looks pretty darn good. There's orange armor, and it doesn't really look like it is really above the water at all. So this might be a pretty good citadel. I haven't really noticed that I've gotten citadel too many times, I don't think, when I've been out in a battle. So the armor looks pretty good, but that is what it is. The overview. Ironclad, above average armor thickness, greater resistance to all forms of armor penetration. That's kind of what we did see in the armor view. Guns aplenty, a high number of guns allows for a lot of damage from a single salvo, and this turns out to be true in the battles I've been in with the Brandenburg. Those 12-inch guns really do pack quite a wallop. But it does say that there is modest guns here, and the ship is armed with low-caliber main battery guns, and they are 12-inch guns. The Brandenburg was a battleship design that was close to the Bismarck class, but carried a different main battery that consisted of 12 305 millimeter guns that were developed in Germany in the late 1930s. Year of design was 1945, and there were no ships in the series. Well, that's it for the setup of the ship and the commander. Let's go out in a standard battle and check out some highlights. Alright, we're in the Sea of Fortune. We're in a standard battle. Here I'm taking a look at the teams, and first thing I notice is the red team has 5 battleships versus the blue team 4 battleships. So we're starting out at a little bit of a disadvantage, I think, because of all the battleships on the red team. They have an Iowa, Bismarck, Brandenburg, and North Carolina, and Sinop. So we have to be careful. I don't really want to go out in the open water and be a central target for all those battleships. So I'm going to stay right here for a while, and I'm just going to survey the landscape here and see how the battle plays out. And there are some torpedoes behind me, some friendly torpedoes. That looks like a free drop from the Implacable there behind me, and he was loading, he was dumping, not loading, but he was dumping some of his aircraft so he doesn't lose all his aircraft on his attack run. A lot of times you only get one attack run as an aircraft carrier, so that's what he was doing there. Good luck to him. So here's the Bismarck up here. He's just out of range. We have slightly over a 19-kilometer range. And 19.08 kilometers, looks like there's 19.1. The Bismarck is targeted. So I'm hitting auto aim a couple times, and there I'm trying to make sure that that is where the aiming indicator wants to go. Doesn't really look like the Bismarck is moving, so I took a shot. And that kind of looks like bad dispersion right there. So I don't expect much out of that shot, but that's the first shot. I have tried running Ciliax and Hyde in the Brandenburg, and the results were not really all that great. So this is pretty much the first match that I am in the Brandenburg with Hipper and the accuracy build. So it will be very interesting to see how the battle shapes up versus the other battles that I've had with those secondary build commanders. It was kind of unremarkable. So now I am moving up a little bit. I'm trying to keep the island between myself and all those battleships there. I'm hoping for a clear shot in the gap. Those twin peaks there on the island in front of me, but I don't think that's really going to happen. So he is closing in on us, so he is moving in this direction. And I'm keeping an eye on the Bismarck and the Brandenburg. There, the Brandenburg is just in the open water there and basically inviting a shot on his broadside there. And there I keep clicking on the auto aim because you can see that the auto aim is moving around. There it looked like it settled on the bow of the ship. So I did take some shots at him. We'll see if those are successful. There's a shatter right there. And I did not aim far enough in front, it looks like, even though I did get 3,741 damage. So I was kind of surprised by that damage score there. I didn't expect any hits. And now I am being spotted by the red team aircraft. I believe that's from the aircraft carrier. And when you're spotted, everybody on the red team seemingly can see you. And being behind this island doesn't really help much because they are starting to take shots at me. That one was short, luckily. And here I'm trying to see whether I can get a good shot at the Bismarck as I'm looking to go behind this island for cover. There is a Belfast out in the open that was almost broadside, but he's turning away, so I didn't take the shot. And I'm waiting for him to become more broadside like you see right there. And this is kind of perfect. I kind of wish I would have aimed a little lower near the waterline, but that's what I did. So we'll see how that works out. And about 6,000 damage right there. So that was a pretty good shot, especially since it looked like those shells were way behind. I should have aimed way in front of the Belfast there. So now I've decided to come out over on this side of the island and take a look at these ships over here and see if we can do anything about them. There's the Otago. Maybe I can get a good... that looks like auto aim was going to say that I was going to have a good shot at getting a hit on him right there. So now the Bismarck is coming around the other way, and I am hidden behind this island for cover. So I did take a shot at him, and I did get a hit for another 1,000 damage or so. And here's some more broadside shots at the Bismarck. And there are 3 more hits. And it looks like he is just sitting there. He stopped, it looks like. And so now I'm going to take some shots at his broadside here. And there is the Belfast over there. It's kind of like more of an antagonist than anything. So hopefully these armor-piercing shells will take care of him a little bit. So now I'm being shot from the smoke behind me over there. And now I am sizing up the Belfast. So the Belfast is turning broadside, which is awesome. There's a Citadel hit, takes away most of his health. And the Belfast is gone. After that Citadel hit, we're up to 52,000 damage. That is pretty good so far. And we are behind in the match. 250 points versus 406, so we have some work to do. That's probably the Brandenburg, yeah, the Brandenburg and the Otago, and there is some good broadside opportunities right here. So we're up to 59,000 on those hits, but here this Brandenburg is just sitting there, not really taking any shots at anybody, it doesn't seem like, so I'm going to use this as an opportunity to try to get some hits on them. We're up to 61,000 damage. Just waiting, maybe they will become visible again. There's the Brandenburg. He is visible now. And that looked like a good shot on the waterline. And so I adjusted my aim to the rear of the Brandenburg. And hopefully we will get some good hits on him. That was only 6,800 damage. Looks like these rounds are reloading pretty quickly, so this is some great opportunities on this Brandenburg. He's just sitting there, not really moving. There he's moving a little forward, I guess. And hopefully we can get some Citadel hits. No Citadel hits, but we're up to 78,000 damage. Now he is starting to come toward me. So once he closes in, I'm going to be looking for the torpedoes to get into the mix here, as well as the secondaries. If he gets close enough where the secondaries start going off, here he is not apparently aware of me. He's certainly not targeting me at all. And it looks like as I'm firing my main guns, I am not visible. So this is pretty good. There, he still hasn't closed up within range. And there I did take some shots and I was visible by the aircraft. So I am still not visible, I don't think. I guess now I'm visible to the Brandenburg. And now the secondaries are going to start going. So we're going to start out with the secondaries at 82,000 damage. Here I did hit the secondary boosters, so we're going to let these go. There I took some shots with the main guns. 3 hits. We're up to 87,000. And the secondaries are really going. We're up to 90,000 damage right now. And I'm just going to sit here and take shots at the Brandenburg. The Citadel in the armor view looked pretty good to me, so hopefully it won't be a mistake here, but I am backing up a little bit. I don't need to, tempt fate too much. So we are close to 100,000 damage. 99,862 damage, a Citadel hit, 62 secondary hits, 69 main gun hits, which is pretty darn good, I think. I wasn't really sure what to expect from the Brandenburg because of the 12-inch guns. I was almost afraid it was going to play more like a cruiser, but it really does seem to be a pretty tough battleship, actually. And there's that Friesland behind me. I believe the Friesland was taking some shots at me from the smoke earlier in the match. Okay, so I'm starting to creep a little bit forward. I guess I'm at full speed. It's a creep because I'm not really accelerating that fast, but you can see that I am on fire, and that is why I wanted to use sheer, because it really seems like the German battleships are really prone to catching fire. So this looks like a good broadside opportunity. on the Brandenburg, he is very low on health. He's looking pretty thin, and his secondaries are going on him. We're up to 103,000 damage. I'm angling away so he doesn't have a good shot at my citadel, and it looked like the friendly Implacable took him out. So very nice. So now, yeah, we are on fire, and that is definitely a deal with the German battleships, I think. At least that's been my experience. But now I'm going to come around the island here and go after the Otago. And I am going to try to heal up here. By the time I get to the Otago, hopefully the red team aircraft carrier planes do not take away too much of my health. I've only got 17,658 health left. It's not really all that much. I can't really afford to get hit by these torpedoes right here. And there they're coming right at me. I'm not really sure there's much I can do except not move into the second and third torpedo there. He only did cause 4,500 damage or so. And so now we're down to 13,000 health. So this could be kind of a problem in there. Luckily, he was a little rushed on the attack, and that was kind of a bad spread on his torpedo attack. The indicators on his torpedo dive bombers did not parallel out, and that's why the torpedoes went at an angle like that. So he probably had no other opportunity for a better shot than that, so he was trying as best he could. And there's the Otago going right behind that island, and he took a desperation shot at me, and of course he started a fire, which has been kind of the staple for this match.
Our team has taken the lead.
You know, we do have 103,000 damage, 77 main gun hits, which is awesome. And I am learning that the Brandenburg is a very potent battleship, but you do have to watch out for being caught on fire and burning down. And that's why a commander like Hyde, maybe with all of his health qualities, might be a benefit. But here the Otago is totally broadside, and I took a shot at him. There's a citadel hit and a destroyed ship. That is a bad option if you're in an Otago versus a Brandenburg. You definitely don't want to do that unless you want to get wiped out like that. And on that, the battle has ended in a big-time victory for the Brandenburg. 396,000 credits, 117,000 damage, 81 main gun hits, 11 airplanes shot down. So the AA on the Brandenburg is kind of potent. 1 destroyed ship, 2 citadel hits, a captured flag, 74 secondary hits, 6,000 XP, 903 global XP with 7,600 commander XP. I was running some flags there. So let's see how we did on a team result. First place overall with 2,200 XP. That's not the best XP, but it is first place overall in the match. So that is awesome. Let's see how we did on the economy tab. Well, by the time it was all said and done, we cleared 244,000 credits. Not a bad haul for a Tier 7 ship. Well, that's it for the Brandenburg and my first match with Hipper. I expect to get a lot more experience with Hipper, maybe change around the secondary upgrade in upgrade slot 1. Instead of aiming systems, mod 1, go with the secondary, try that around, maybe try some more commanders and see how it plays out. But overall, I really do like the Brandenburg. It is very potent with Hipper, and you do get some pretty good secondary action, as you saw. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you like it.
battleship foundered.